Hello there, and a very warm welcome to this week's France Buying Guys YouTube presentation. Well, emigrating to France is a hugely attractive proposition. France is still one of the most popular destinations for British people buying abroad. And you can see why. I'm sure you have all sorts of reasons of your own. My own view is that this combination of it being a slow pace of life, property is still cheaper than the UK, wonderful climate, food, wine, it's close to the UK because it's back. There's absolute diversity of countryside and towns. And also, I think France has something of what we imagine England used to be and still has that. It has a lot to offer, a more relaxed lifestyle, massive space, and a bigger choice of property. Now, many people dream about moving to France, but not everybody actually gets there. So how do you make your dream come true? Well, I think the key to that is in good preparation. If you really want to do it, you definitely can. Planning well in advance is the key. Once you've made a decision to emigrate to France, make a mental note to keep really positive about it and look at the bigger picture and the bigger picture of the future for you. You need to consider right at the beginning several items: finances, language. You need to consider areas that appeal to you, things such as schools, your work, ease of access back to the UK, and you have to think about what you're leaving behind. Now, when it comes to finances, it's a good idea to take a good hard look at how you're going to afford to buy your property in France. There are some very good French mortgage deals around at the moment, but consider how you'll fund your existence too. Look at such things as your pensions and investments. It may be a little bit cheaper still to live in France, but you still need to have a plan about how you're going to do that. Next is the language. Try to learn at least some French. Communication is vitally important. You don't have to speak perfect French, and everybody will forgive your mistakes, but it's a good idea to learn a little bit, perhaps look upon your schoolboy or schoolgirl French. Look at lots of different areas. France, as I say, is a big, big country. Do some research on each region. You can have a look at our France Buying Guide here. We have quite a good overview of every single area of France. Think about what's important to you in terms of weather, access back to the UK, and just consider what's important to you, your day-to-day living. If you have children, have a look at schools. Schooling is extremely good in France, and you should be able to get your child into a local state school. Work may be hard to come by, but many people think about running a sheet or bed and breakfast, or you can teach English or work from home. With the internet now, it's much, much easier to find work of that type. Think about ease of access. There are lots of regional airports now in France, and also the train service don't get extremely good. But take a look at your nearest airport, where it will go back to in England, and your local train station too, and work out how long it's going to take you on a sort of weekly or monthly basis. Think about what you're leaving behind as well. France is close by, and you can always come back. But think about things that you'll miss. They do say that one door closes, another one opens. And it may be simply that you miss friends and family, but it's just a different mindset, really. We found that it's lovely having visitors for a period, for a few days, rather than just seeing someone for an evening. It's just a little bit different. But what you gain in quality far outweighs everything else, we think. It's a good idea to become at least a little bit familiar with each area, as I say, and narrow it down perhaps to two or three. Think about your location, visit them, make two or three visits or even more. If you plan well in advance, that really is the key to keeping yourself in control and knowing what you really want and trying to find it. For many people, the joy of living in France is being part of a community. I think that would explain why a lot of people at retirement age come to emigrate in France to rediscover that community spirit, which sadly seems to have gone missing in many parts of the UK now. And also give yourself time to think about the geography of it. I mean, if you want to go by the sea, there's lots of choice in France that's surrounded on three sides by sea. Or think about if you want to be in a town or in a village or perhaps a little bit more isolated. If you want some land too, think about what you really want how you want to live on a day-to-day basis. In short, give a good deal of thought to all of your criteria. Get yourself a massive map of France and do some research on each little area that appeals to you. You know, time spent now will save a lot of work later on. Give yourself a timeline, but don't feel pressured to actually keep to it. Just have a vague idea of sort of, do you want to move now, in 6 months, in a year's time, and gather lots of information together. You'll find lots of English people living in France, even in our little villages here. We have many English friends now. But the key really to settling successfully is to integrate into the French lifestyle. And when you do finally get to France, make sure you put yourself out, smile, ask questions, meet your neighbours, go to your local bar. Emigrating anywhere is going to be something of an adventure, but as long as you retain a positive attitude about it all and have made proper plans, then you really will find that life in France is an absolute joy. Well, that's it for me for this week. Do keep your questions and comments coming. We're always happy to answer them. And if there's anything you'd like me to cover here, do let me know. You can phone our office in London or you can email me anytime and we always get a personal reply. Thank you for listening and I'll speak to you very soon. Bye bye.